Swivl Sessions, interviews with field service entrepreneurs. Get insights and strategies from those who took the leap and risked it all to start their own home service companies. A lot of times you get to that fork in the road when you are either let go from your position you were in at another company, or just you have to make a change and you're not sure where to go. And I love hearing people go in a direction of something that they know nothing about just because they want to learn and they want to know more about that industry. And we got that with Reggie Lowe from Apex Residential Solutions. Jeremy, what do you got?
Yeah, Reggie's story is pretty awesome. It's pretty simple, He just out of necessity, he kind of found his way into the HVAC industry, and now he's blowing it up. The company is growing tremendously and very fast now that he's got it all figured out. And my favorite line is he loves his customers and he wants to provide them with good service. And he's doing that, I know for a fact. He's cool as a cucumber, man. If my HVAC goes out here in Atlanta, I am calling
That's the
Apex
guy.
For sure.
His light bulb moment of renting a place where the AC went out and the landlord saying, "Can you fix this?" And Reggie going, "Yeah, I can if you take a little off my rent." And
Yeah.
that kicking off what is a $3 million business. Those are the stories that it's what it means to be a true entrepreneur.
Exactly.
And that's what Reggie Lowe is over there at Apex Residential Solutions. Enjoy the show. Come to Swivl Sessions, where we love shining the light on entrepreneurs and that entrepreneurial spirit. And got a great one today, successful business owner. Before we get to Reggie, though, I got to introduce you to Jeremy, my co-host. I feel like I need to introduce myself to him because he works from home so much, I forget what he looks like. So, Jeremy, meet Reggie, and I'm Tyson. Nice to meet you.
All right. How's it
Hey.
going?
Hey, what's up, Reggie? Hey, Reggie, real quick, a little bit about John. He's our podcast guru and the master of customer service. So that's Tyson right there.
Well, Apex Residential Solutions has a great reputation in this city. And it's not just for their professional HVAC service that they provide, but it's because of the efficiency of the customer care and the professionalism that they show. And we are really excited to have the owner of Apex with us, Reggie Lowe. Reggie, welcome to Swivl Sessions. It's good to have you on.
Hey, glad to be here. Glad thanks for the opportunity.
Feeling in your world, but you're in our world because you're in Atlanta. So
I'm sure
and all
you're
over
busy.
the place, it looks like.
Yeah, oh yeah. Busy time of the year right now.
Is this the craziest time for
Oh yeah.
HVAC?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
June, July, August, absolutely. Yeah.
Like tax season.
It's more the AC part of the HVAC and less of the H, like the warmer months or the busier months, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Summer. I mean, you can get away in the winter, you can buy a space heater, but when it's hot, that AC has to work. So yeah.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
And is it a lot of flushing, or is it a lot? What is the most service?
Yeah, a lot of repair work, replacement work. We deal with leaks. Sometimes you got to flush the system because the drain line is clogged, or you got a bad motor capacitor. Yeah, so we do a lot of repairs and installation.
Guys can do that stuff. So let's get started, Reggie. I'd like to ask everybody kind of their background. So we'll start off. We'll warm this thing up a little bit. Real simple. What were you doing before you started the company? Kind of how did you get to where you starting the company?
Yeah, I started out as an industrial mechanic. So I worked for a lot of big companies, Coca-Cola, Lucent Technologies. So I was an industrial mechanic for those guys.
The big
Got
ones.
laid off at Lucent, and the union, they allowed us to go to school for another trade, and I chose HVAC because I didn't know a whole lot about HVAC. I could do a little everything else, electrical, plumbing, but HVAC covered all of that. So I got interested, got into a program, and graduated that program, and didn't really intend on starting my own business. It was probably going to be, I really wanted to know I wanted to know more about it. I really didn't have it as a business plan. But long story short, went through a divorce and moved into a small townhouse that the AC that I was renting, and the AC didn't work. So the guy asked me, he says, "Reggie, can you fix that AC?" I said, "Yeah, if you could take it off my rent." So I fixed the AC.
Brilliant.
he asked me to go to another one right across from me. I said, yeah, I'll fix it if you can take it off my rent. And he took it off the rent, and he said, hey, if you can do this type
And now
of work.
you own the building.
Yeah, right. He said, if you can do this type of work, I can keep you busy. And that's how I got started in HVAC.
I love
And
to
that's
hear
the-
that,
yeah.
because our people who do these videos love to get motivated, and that's great motivation to just, see how things can just turn into something when you're
And
not
it can
really
be
been looking
as
for it.
simple as just deciding I don't know much about this area and I'd like to learn more. I mean,
Yeah, that was it.
you didn't even have the plan. It's just you followed that. And I think that's fascinating. So the decision to start it was really from that light bulb of the landlord telling you, okay, I can keep you busy.
Yeah, that's how I got started.
That's great. That's great.
And as a business owner, as you start to grow over the years, we love talking about expectations. I mean, did you have any expectations going in as the guy at the wheel, as the owner?
Yeah, well, I mean, the first probably 3 to 5 years, I gave it away. I mean, I didn't understand the business side at all. And, so, during that time, it worked. It kind of worked for me because I built a huge customer base. Because everybody
Loyal.
was like, hey, this guy's got a good price over here. Let's call him.
But you got your name out, and that's the important thing.
Yeah, so it worked.
You're doing it organically, yeah.
You didn't realize what you were doing, but you were doing it.
God.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
like that.
It turned out good. Later on, I took some classes, learned a lot more, and got a better understanding of the business side. And yeah, today we doing multiple $1 million in gross sales. So
All right, we're gonna get to that question later, so don't let that one go away. But
okay.
I love asking when you start to see that growth happen, is there some aspect of the business that you still struggle with, or hurdles that pop up every once in a while that you have to figure out how to get over?
Yeah, I mean, you got different hurdles for this industry. Finding quality help is always a struggle.
Every time we get that answer.
If you looked at any of the 40 podcasts we've done, Reggie, 90% of them, that's what they say.
Is that right? Wow. Okay.
And because like you have the pride in building this, like these other people do, and it's just letting these people represent you and your name, and that's the hard part.
Exactly, because I love my customers. They taking a chance on me, and I want to provide them with a good product at the end of the day. And some people don't really look. It's just a job to them.
Yeah.
They don't see it the same way. Yeah.
They don't make that connection with the people.
Right. They don't. Yeah, they don't.
All right, Jeremy.
Oh, sorry, I was writing something down. So he said something I liked. Reggie, so tell us about your customer base, since we were just kind of talking about that. Who is your customer base now? And is it residential? Is it commercial? Is it industrial? Like, let's start there with that question.
Yeah, my customer base now is probably 70% residential and 30% light commercial.
That's a good mix.
Yeah.
I think that's a great, healthy mix for your type of company. And then how long have you been in business? We didn't really scratch on that.
Officially in 2000 when I got my first business bank account.
Okay.
But I was had my feet in the water since 2003.
Okay. That's when you first started working with the
property management guy.
Yeah, property management company. Yeah. Okay.
I was doing service calls after I got off my full-time job. So from 2003 to 2007, I was doing it kind of part-time. And I just, I left my job and went full-time in 2007.
Okay. All right.
That's the jumping off the cliff moment right there.
There you go. That's it.
There you go. Yeah.
Scary part. Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. And then how many employees roughly do you have now? How many techs in the field? Who's there at the company?
Yeah, right now I got 8 guys in the field. I got 2 office admins and myself.
What's your territory? What do you cover? Just so people
Everywhere.
watching might.
Yeah, Metro.
You'll go anywhere.
Look at his website. It's
Where are you guys based? You're down
Stockbridge, Georgia.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuff to do down there. A lot of residential for sure.
Oh, yeah,
just in Stockbridge alone.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And all those neighborhoods down there. Yeah. So you'd mentioned some numbers. So what kind of numbers are you doing now? Like what did you guys do last year? If you can kind of share us a ballpark. of your numbers at your gross?
Yeah, last year we did about 1.2 million. We're on track to do about 2.2 this year.
Nice.
Wow. Why the
Yeah,
growth? Do you have like an easy answer for that?
yeah, I hired 3 sales guys. So, before I was doing everything. I mean, and I was blessed this year. Some of the bigger companies let some of the sales guys go, and I was able to hire 3. And
And they'd already been
they really,
trained up, kind of. They were
yeah, they were already
knowledgeable in the
trained.
industry.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
And they're not
It worked
techs
out.
in the field. They're strictly sales.
No, no, no. Yeah, they're strictly sales. Yeah, I
Okay.
got
Yeah.
techs, but yeah, these guys are 100% commission sales guys, and they came
Wow.
from another competitor. And yeah,
So
so
they knew
I've almost
they knew how
doubled.
to operate in that area.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Their
And
loss
trust
is
me,
your
it took
gain.
20 years. Yeah, it took me almost 20 years to get to have a situation where I got 3 sales guys. I've been struggling to get one decent one, and I got 3 decent ones right now, 3 good guys.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations
Yeah,
on that. I'd love to
yeah.
hear it.
It's good
It worked
hearing
out.
too that you realize, we have owners that are so caught up in the workings of the business, and they don't realize that their job really should be at the wheel and not down in the engine room. Like they
Yeah,
need to trust people to do it, be
you're
covering
right.
those things for them.
Trust me, that was a struggle for me too. I mean, it took years for me to let the baby go. That's my
Yeah.
baby, and yeah, so that's a struggle for all business owners.
So you
Absolutely.
you, you mentioned earlier who did your website, and it does look good. I've kind of gone through it a little bit, but you have any type of specific? I know with different industries in field service, they do have specific platforms for either roofing or for plumbing or HVAC, and do you use anyone to keep track of all your accounts or to send your invoices or schedule?
Yeah, I've been using House Call Pro for the last few years. Yeah, probably the last 7, 8 years, probably. Yeah.
And how have you liked them?
Yeah, I've been able to scale with them. So I'm getting to a point now where I may have to use another something because I'm growing now. So we'll see. I may be able to grow with them. We'll see.
Do they help you when you need help from just a customer service standpoint? We've heard some stories, and obviously we're going to edit this out, but from people with House Call Pro and Service Titan where they get kind of abandoned midway through onboarding or when they start to have questions about the
Yeah,
software.
I had some issues with them with my website. They were hosting my
Yeah.
website. So that's how I got into the picture because, yeah, I ran into some issues with them with that.
Well, we're going to set up a time when you have time, obviously, and not so much to. Well, we would love you to know what we do and how we do it, but we have set up our platform that's exactly what you were talking about with ways you can keep track of techs in the field and you can do invoices and estimates, and it's a different kind of cost model that's not like Service Titan or Jobbers. It's pretty interesting. So we're gonna have to walk you through that.
Okay.
For sure. Hey, so what kind of goals do you have? You have the new sales team. I'm sure as a business owner, you've been in business almost 20 years or so. Have your goals changed? Life goals, business goals, you name it. What are you aspiring to? What are you trying to accomplish at this point? Like as far as double the size of the company, revenue, that sort of thing.
Yeah. One of my goals was, when I was at 1 million, my goal was to get to 3. Now, now I see it's a math problem now. I figured it
You see
out.
3.
So I know how to get right. Right. So yeah,
I love it,
but
man.
before yeah, I couldn't figure out, okay, how do I get past 1 million? Now I understand. It's a math problem. Now I know how to solve for 3 million. So yeah.
So bringing in the salespeople was a big
Yeah,
part of that. Obviously, that was just like a
exactly.
light bulb moment.
Yeah, it was a light bulb moment. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you're so busy working in the business that you're not working on the business. And I had my head in the sand and I just didn't, I mean, I knew the sales guys were important, but man, until I got them on board and really saw what they could do in the way that we could scale, man, okay, yeah, I see. This is the way.
And was
So
someone nudging you in that direction? Did you have someone in your ear going, "Hey, we really ought to bring some sales guys in, or had that been on your mind for a while before you hired
no,
them?
it's been on my mind. I've been trying to find a decent sales guy for the last 5 years. And just out of the blue, circumstances created these three guys to come to me because they were working for another competitor. And they got let go or something happened. Anyway, they came to me. And wow, it worked.
That's usually when the best things happen, when it just
Yeah,
you
it
know when
happens.
it's right. This comes right to you.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's true.
exit
Tyson, let me ask a
strategies.
question real
Yeah,
quick
go.
about. I have one more thing. You do that. Did you bring in the techs? You have 8 techs now. So what came first? Did you have all those techs when you brought in the sales guys, or did you need to bring in more techs? How did that work?
No, I had
Right.
6 of the guys
Yeah.
that were already on board. Yeah, and I think I
Okay.
just brought in 2 more recently. Once I got the sales guys on. But yeah,
Okay. I was just curious where you're going with that. I guess so. You'll need to, as you're going to your 3 million and plus, it'll probably be more techs and then maybe more salespeople. I'm just trying to think of that
yeah, I
ahead
think
for myself,
yeah, I
actually.
think I believe I can get to 3 million with these 3 sales guys. But I am going to have a operations guy to help me facilitate the sales, the service. Because I'm the bottleneck right now. I got to bring in a guy for that.
And that might be another one of those moments where you bring in that guy and then it really opens up because
Yeah,
you'll be free. Your mind will be free, I think.
thank you. Exactly.
Are you out in the field or are you kind of in the
Now
office at this point?
I'm still in the field. I'm in the field more than I should be. Yeah,
Well, we
yeah,
appreciate you giving us some time today. That's for sure.
no problem.
But you sometimes worry about the trades and how people are saying that the people are leaving the trades and the guys that have been in it the longest, like you, once they're gone, you're not going to have those quality people. What's your take on that? What do you think as far as the direction of not just HVAC, but in all trades?
Well, I think the trades. I think they're coming back because I think
Yeah.
AI is going to displace a lot of people that do some desk work. I think I've hired one guy was a computer science guy. He did something with computers. He worked for Samsung, and I hired he came into the industry because he's afraid of AI and he thought that the trades were safe. I just hired another guy that has a background in law school, and he was thinking the same thing. So he's coming into the trade. So I think we're gonna get some excellent talent
Yeah.
in
That's a good observation. AI cannot turn a wrench and AI
Can't
cannot hammer a nail.
flush the system or get their
exactly.
hands dirty.
I hadn't thought about that observation. That's good. I like that.
That's been an interesting thing on our end, Reggie, seeing and learning. We're just a little over a year old, maybe a little bit more, but seeing and understanding what AI is becoming.
Right.
It's kind of scary and exciting, but maybe a
Yeah.
little bit more on the scary side.
Yeah. It's scary. Yeah. It's scary. Trust me.
We've all seen the movies. Yeah, I'm scared.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Well, Apex is moving in the right direction, and that's obviously because of the hard work that you've been putting into it. What is the exit strategy as you hire in an operations guy, or you start to scale a little bit more above the 3 million mark? Where do you see your involvement with Apex? Are you gonna try to get rid of it or pass it along to someone? What are your
Yeah.
plans?
I'm still in pretty good health, so I mean, I plan on being around for a while. Definitely want to bring somebody on board that can, help me out, and so that I'm not working as hard. But I mean, the private equity guys, they're reaching out to me every day. But like I said, I'm still in good health. I love what I do, so I really don't have no plans on exiting right now.
Don't take that quick money.
Yeah,
Stay
don't do it.
in.
Don't
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
A little since he's not here. Our owner, who is very reticent to talk about his background, but he built a plumbing company from one truck to what 32 or 3, Jeremy,
Yeah,
Wow.
so right around there.
and then he sold it at the right time, and
Yeah.
that's the important part is just knowing when
Hmm.
to hit that button.
Yeah.
So,
And then he jumped right into this.
Nice.
how did you come up with the name Apex? Just out of curiosity.
Well, when I started, they were phone books, and I wanted to be at the front of the phone book, so I wanted to be an A. Yeah.
That's brilliant. That's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Some of your techs probably don't even know what a phone book is.
No, that's true. That's
I
true.
bet. They probably know what it is, but they've never actually seen one. The yellow pages.
We're of a similar generation, Reggie. Trust me, we know about having to get up to turn the channel on the TV and
Right.
talking on a phone connected to the wall.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground, and these are the conversations, especially when you get someone that is dialed into his area of the trades as Reggie is. We love hearing these stories. But before we let you go, is there any advice you have for people that are listening or watching that are thinking about making that leap and being an entrepreneur and starting their own business, or are still trying to figure out what they want to do? What are your words of wisdom for them?
Yeah, I would say just be passionate about what you're doing. Really, I was a I think from a service standpoint, I always like helping people. So, it's just that I get paid to help them with that AC problem now. So, but yeah, that it worked out for me because service was in my blood. I like helping people, and HVAC was the vehicle for me to be able to help people and make a decent living at the same time.
And I love that the union, when you got laid off, did that for you. Gave
Yeah.
you that. I didn't know that was an
Yeah,
option
that was
when
part
that
of
happens.
my package. Yeah, they sent us to trade school. We could take up any trade we wanted, and I said, "Yeah, let me try HVAC," and it worked
And
out.
Good one.
But and real quick, industrial mechanic. What does that encompass? Because
Everything.
it sounds.
Yeah. We kept the whole operation going. Man, if it was packaging, we did palletizers, we did bottling. If you were putting the product in a bottle, made sure those fillers ran smoothly. Labelers that put the label on the bottle, they had to be set up and operated properly. Yeah, everything under the roof.
Did you like
That's
working
amazing.
your time at Coca-Cola? Did you enjoy
Yeah,
that?
I loved it, man. I
Yeah.
loved it. I mean, it was every day was interesting. You never did the same thing. You rarely did the same thing twice. It was always, you stayed on your toes. You had to be creative with some of the repairs you made to keep the plant running. So yeah, I loved it. I enjoyed it.
And are you from Georgia?
Yeah, I'm from Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah.
So same with us. So, you're working for the Big Red. That's like kind of a goal or a dream of a lot of people.
That's so funny. I literally was just about to say that, Jeremy. As native Atlantans, Coke is like that's our baby. And you.
Yeah, my mom, she was like, "You sure you gonna quit that job? You got a good job at Coca-Cola."
The Ivory Tower.
Oh yeah.
Well, cool.
Well, we could talk to Reggie all day, and I think we might, after we stop recording, talk to you a little bit longer because I'm enjoying hearing how you've got Apex going as well as you have. A huge thank you to Reggie Lowe for taking time out of his busy schedule to come and share his insights with us. Definitely has an entrepreneurial spirit, and hopefully it will help some people out there that are trying to figure out what they want to do. And for any of you in the greater Atlanta area, and when I say greater, that is the key word because they are everywhere, and you're in need of residential or commercial HVAC services, make sure you reach out to Apex Residential Solutions, and you can find their contact information. Reggie, put your finger up right there. And you be sure you're working with a true expert in the field. Reggie Lowe with Apex Residential Solutions. Thank you for being on Swivl Sessions.
Thanks, Reggie.
Thank y'all for the opportunity.
Glad we could finally get you on.
Oh yeah.
And that's a wrap.
All right. Now I can drink my whiskey.
Thanks for listening or watching. Swivl's field service software is everything you need to run your field service business for free. Till next time, check us out at swivl.tech. That's SWIVL.tech.